Hi there, everyone. It's Zoja, Senior Marketing Associate and the producer of the podcast here at InsTech. It may be a slightly different episode today, but I will be the one sitting on the podcast as host and hopefully ease us back into work and life in the office after New Year's with a casual conversation. To mark the first podcast episode of 2025, I'll be detailing a few of the things that have marked our 2024 from InsTech's side and a little sneak peek into our busy and packed agenda for the following year. You may have listened to Matthew and Robin speak on our last podcast episode, which was the annual partners chat, on all the topics that they found interesting in the past year. These ranged from smart follow syndication to secondary perils. If you haven't already listened to it, I highly recommend you do so. What was quite striking to me was the difference between this partners chat and the one from the year before. I really do feel that the lull the insurtech industry fell into is dissipating, and we are seeing some truly exciting work being done in novel spaces. But enough of that. What I'm slightly more interested in is what caught your attention. What was the community of the curious intrigued by this year? In our last newsletter of the year, I summarized what our data suggested was your keenest finds, what you really wanted to get to know a bit more about in insurance, and perhaps what this content suggests about where we should head to next in 2025. It remains no surprise that our most popular webinar was Know Your Models, an underwriter's guide to flood modeling, hosted in collaboration with Fathom, featuring industry-leading panelists from Swiss Re, Guy Carpenter, and Maximum Information. It really fit into what was our theme of the year, which was catastrophe modeling and exposure management. I feel like it shed a new light on the topic of flood models by focusing on understanding the differences to what a model vendor can provide for end users. Catastrophe modeling really never is and shouldn't be a one-size-fits-all affair. Picking the right vendor for you is incredibly important. Likewise, our second most watched webinar of the year was in collaboration with JBA Risk Management on the key lessons they learned over the course of 5 years when it comes to modeling flood risk. It is safe to say that flood is a topic which consistently captured your attention. Flood remains the second largest driver of insured losses worldwide. Now on to podcasts, a place where I am likeliest to be found and heard at, and where all of you probably know me from. Our most listened to podcast of the year was with James Orchard at QBE Ventures. Understanding investment strategies and appetite for the year ahead was a really strong podcast to open with in January. If you have listened to it, my personal recommendation for you would be to tune into our episode with Marcus Ryu, co-founder and chairman of Guidewire and partner at Battery Ventures. It is a really personal introspection on entrepreneurship and answering what does it take to build a company like Guidewire and attract investor interest. A few standout episodes that I really think all of you should listen to, but didn't make it on the list as they came out later in the year, are Matthew's conversation with Scrub AI's Nicola Turner. Journeys from underwriter to founder always really grab my attention because I appreciate hearing the backstory, and I quite like how they're always rooted in the drive to solve an age-old problem. Additionally, Robin's conversation with Munich Re's heads of parametric NatCat and weather and agriculture risk really is an exciting insight into what one of the world's largest reinsurers is currently doing in the parametric space. Now, if you think you've gotten away without hearing the words Exponential Risk London, you are very wrong. We are extremely excited to be hosting our first 2-day conference. Much of the work we have done this year, covering content on modeling, catastrophe risk, and exposure management, has led up to this point. And it's really great to see our most popular content remains in that sphere. Thank you to everyone who has supported the event, and to all the really exciting speakers who are going to join us on the 4th to 5th March. InsTech really has had a great 2024. We've also had some incredible new members come in towards the tail end of the year, and I just thought I'd shout them out at the end of this podcast. So the new members include Claim Sorted, Bellwether, Grappler, OIP Robotics, Coherent, Recorder, Guy Carpenter, and Federato. Do look out for these new members and any of the exciting things we have coming up with them in the new year. That will be all from me this week. Thank you for listening to my first attempt as host, and see you all next Sunday, where I shall return as introducing Matthew and Robin with an exciting new guest. Bye-bye.